Okay, so we have correct these sentences. And the first one is, can you come with my friends and I to Central Park? Now, I want to point out something extremely important. I'm going to circle this, the word or letter I. Obviously, we always capitalize that. I don't feel like I need to mention that. I am, but that's obvious. I know when we text, we don't capitalize anything anymore, but that doesn't mean we're not supposed to. So make sure you capitalize that. But I want to point this out. It says, can you come with my friends and I to Central Park? Now, they always say you're supposed to say I and put the other person in front of you, right? Like, Mark and I are going to Central Park. But in this case, this pronoun I is in the predicate. Now, I'm pointing that out because I need you to use this trick. If you're wondering, do I use me or I or me, replace it with me and see if it works. So, for example, can you come with my friends and I to Central Park? Take out friends and. Let me get that out of there completely. So stick with me just for a second. Okay, so if I cross out friends and you say this, can you come with, let me cross out my two. Can you come with me to Central Park? Or would you say, can you come with I to Central Park? Can you come with I to Central Park? Or can you come with me to Central Park? So if you get rid of the other person and you replace it with me, and it makes sense, then this has to be changed. Okay? This has to be changed to me. That's huge. So keep that in mind, okay? I has to be changed with me if it makes sense to use me. Can you come with me to Central Park? That works. So we got to change it to me. And the reason why that happens, there are two reasons. Well, there's one reason. If it's in the predicate, it becomes me. But if you're unsure, is it the predicate or not, just replace it. Get rid of the other people like we did there. We got rid of my friends in the word and we just replaced it with me and it worked. That's the trick. Always use that trick to decide, is it I or me? Because as you get older and you're getting these higher grades, this is going to come up and teachers are going to get really serious about, are you using the right pronoun? Okay, keep that in mind. Now, obviously, in number 1, 2, there are going to be some capitalization issues, of course, and then we just pointed out the big one. So keep that in mind. What do I capitalize? Always in punctuation and the little thing I just talked about. It's not a little thing, it's a big thing. Okay, let's go to number 2. Is Adam spending August at Lake Tahoe or is he staying home? Guys, we have a conjunction. So make sure when we have a conjunction, you use what? Because a conjunction usually indicates we've combined two sentences. But sometimes the sentences are too small and we got to combine them together. But when we do that with a conjunction, we have to have commas. So you got to make sure you got a comma in the right spot. Also, we've got capitalization issues here. Is Adam spending August at Lake Tahoe or is he staying home? So keep in mind, the name of the lake is Lake Tahoe. It's not just Tahoe. It's Lake Tahoe. So that's all part of the name, okay? So keep that in mind. It's a specific place. Okay, let's go to number 3. Is the underlined word, and I'm going to get my line here just so we know. Is the underlined word a subject pronoun or a possessive pronoun? Well, is it in the subject? And remember to ask yourself, who or what is this sentence about? The teacher asked Pete to share his story with the class. Well, it's about ask yourself, who or what is this sentence about? It's about the teacher. What did the teacher do? Ask Pete something. So asked is the verb. We got our subject predicate line right here. Okay? So we know this is the subject and everything else is the predicate. So is it a subject pronoun or a possessive pronoun? Well, can we get rid of the fact that it's not in the subject? Yeah, I think so. Can't we? Because it's not in the subject. We just labeled subject predicate, but it says is it a possessive pronoun? Well, whose story is it? So if I drew a fancy arrow right here, and I know that's a big arrow. Okay, it's his whose story? It's his story, right? So and that's a bad arrow. Let me try that again. It's his story. So it seems possessive, doesn't it? Whose story? His story. So keep that in mind. And then complete this analogy. I love analogies, guys. Analogies are the best. They make you think, they make you find connections. So, what we want to do is we want to find a connection between these two words right here. Okay? Kenya and Africa. What connection does Kenya and Africa have? Because the way this is supposed to read is this: Kenya is to Africa as Brazil is to what? Okay, so what is the connection between Kenya and Africa? Because if you find that connection, you'll know what this is. But you got to find the connection first between Kenya and Africa. So you might want to get on a map. Okay? When I say might, you need to find a map and you need to look at that map. Okay. And you will know this answer. And then number 5, what reference source would you use to find the longitude of Calcutta, India? Well, guys, the word longitude, where have you heard that before? What kind of class have you heard that in? Social studies? And in social studies, when we look up longitude and latitude, what are we looking at? Where do we know? First of all, to find the longitude and latitude, Google Maps and whatever you guys use on your phones, they use longitude and latitude. That's what they're using. It's just super specific. But on maps, they use longitude and latitude, don't they? So think about that for your answer. Okay, I believe that is it. If you have any questions, obviously you can ask me, but this should point out quite a few things here, so make sure you refer back to this if you get stuck. Okay.